Колеги, ми продовжуємо робочий день. До слова запрошується речник.
We continue our working day, and now I give the floor to Oleksander Motuzyanyk, Presidential Administration spokesman on ATO-related issues. Good day, dear colleagues, and now the events in the ATO area during the last 24 hours. In Lugansk area, the enemy violated ceasefire near Shestye town. From the opposite bank of the Seversky Donetsk River, the militants provided grenade fire at our positions, and in other areas of this region there was lull. In Donetsk area, in Zaitsevo, Mayorsk, Novgorodsk, and also from Gorlovka to Yasenovata, there were more than 10 enemy provocations. They used small arms, grenade launchers, and also the enemy used 82mm mortar ones, and also APC. And it happened in Mayorsk and Novgorodsk respectively. And at the same time, the enemy was the most active between Avdiivka and Mariinka. And starting from 10 a.m. till the late in the evening, they didn't use heavy weapons. The biggest number of enemy provocations was observed near Pisky. The enemy snipers were active. In Mariupol area, the enemy was active in two areas. In Bogdanovka, Volnovasky region, and Shirokino village. The enemy tried to approach our positions to open provocative fire, but this tactic didn't succeed. During the last 24 hours, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 2 were wounded. Also, 2 servicemen got injured by a wire trap explosion. Special services of Ukraine detained militants. In Sukharin village, Krasnoarmeysk region of Donetsk Oblast, they detained a former member of DPR illegal military formation Kalmius. The criminal, nicknamed Lyoha, joined the ranks of the militants in May last year. He served at checkpoints and at storage facilities. 1 more militant was detained by SBU in Mariinska region, Donetsk Oblast. And our services continue to confiscate illegal weapons. Yesterday they found 4 caches of arms. The first one near Pobeda village of Novodarsk region in Lugansk Oblast, they confiscated 2 grenades RGD-5 and F1, cartridges to Kalashnikov machine gun and 400 cartridges of different caliber. The second arms cache was found in Popasnyansky region in Luganshina. They found 3 grenade launchers, 5 anti-tank grenades, and 5 shells to hand grenade launcher and cartridges of different caliber. The third one in Novosibirsk Donetsk Oblast, they found 50 shells of 22mm caliber. The 4th cache was found in the suburbs of Krasnoarmeyska, and they also found several shells to grenade launchers and 3 shells of 82mm caliber. And there were also local residents also found several units of ammunition. Near Drushkivka they found Kalashnikov machine gun and cartridges to it. And in Mariupol and Krasnogorovka they found grenades near residential buildings, and dangerous objects were immediately confiscated by law enforcement officers.
The law enforcement officers, the police officers in Slavyansk seized from local citizens over 7 kilos of gunpowder, Kalashnikov gun, a rifle, and more than 90 cartridges of various calibers. In Lugansk region, the police officer was caught red-handed. He purchased the ammunition and explosive substances. The Security Service of Ukraine prevented illegal supplies of military products from Russia. The agents of SBU detained 4 messengers at the checkpoint Zhuravlivka in Kharkiv region. Those offenders tried to send to Russia the technical documents and details for cryptographic equipment for radar sets of air-to-air defense installations. The new stage of training started yesterday in Yavarev polygon, in Yavarev firing ground. The trainers of military operations from USA, Canada, Great Britain and Lithuania now train Ukrainian armed forces, soldiers, and the program period is until 2017. Nearly 500 NATO trainers will train our soldiers. Special emphasis shall be on training Ukrainian operators of counter-battery stations, which have been transferred to Ukraine by the USA. The US radar stations are capable to detect the artillery shells launched from one or several cannons, howitzers, mortars, or missile launchers. They can use the trajectory of shells to calculate the enemy missile locations. Thus, Ukrainian artillerymen would be capable to improve their efficiency and destroy the enemy. The modern equipment is planned to be mastered within a short term. The young army conscripts in Ukraine are now being trained in the naval forces of Ukraine bases. About 350 conscripts are now being trained. This is all information for today. Are there any questions? Good afternoon, ICTV TV channel, Elena Kamernicka, journalists. There was information that the 7 wave of mobilization may take place. Will it be so complex as the previous mobilizations waves were? Last year there were problems with mobilizations, and the summons were given to young boys in the underground stations, in the hostels. Well, the mobilization conditions will depend on the situation inside the country and on the global situation. Of course, if the mobilization wave will take place and if it is extensive, we shall incorporate the lessons learned during the previous mobilization campaigns. We collected all the experience learned during the previous waves of mobilization. Our departments, local departments will be in charge of mobilization, but this is a national task, and local self-governments also shall be involved in the mobilization procedures. Can you specify how many people are planned if mobilization will be announced, and who will be the priority conscripts. How many people will be mobilized? We can't give such information, but this will depend on the required staff at the moment. On ad hoc basis, and experienced servicemen who had already experience in the ATO and other military operations experience, and it will also depend on which military units may need some staff. Other reconnaissance officers will be needed, or maybe naval forces or some other troops. Are there any other questions? There are no questions. Thank you, Mr. Colonel. Now, the next briefing we will have at 1 o'clock.